Alright, welcome to another Napoleonic 3. This is a mod for Total War Napoleon, and it is a great mod. And we've got another replay for you today. And today we got a 4v4. On the opponent's side over here, we'll see who they are in a little bit. But we've got Igloo to Sickle, Louis de Calancourt, PSC USMC Kids 4, and Colonial Rankis. So those are our opponents, and on my side I have myself, the Winged Czar, and then we'll have a United Kingdom Peninsular as Kiki, and a Prussian 1806 being played with by Lotus. And for the fourth player on our team we have Daddy. Wait, Daddy Friday. We have Friday playing as Narad. I've never seen him play as Narad, but this is one of his first times to play as Narad, or maybe not, I don't really know. But they are an entire guerrilla faction. They are the Cossacks for the Russians custom. And over here, as you can imagine, they can pretty much deploy pretty much everything can be guerrilla deployed. We've just got Kazaki Don, just a 40 units. We've got these look like Dragoons almost. Interesting. Dragoon unit, I didn't know they had that. And some more Kazaki Don, Kazaki. And then we're going to have a 2-pounder here. Pretty cool, little 2-pounder. And then we'll have more Kazaki. We've got an 80-man unit or 82-man unit. And that's kind of it. And myself, I am playing with the United Kingdom 1812. And I've got some Iroquois warriors that I'm just going to be able to deploy in this house. This map has 3 1-pointers on our side and a 4-pointer, making a total of 7. And then on our opponent's side, they have a 4, a 1, a 2, and a 1 with another. That puts them at 8. So they're actually winning the little locale or location. Or do we have one in the back? We may have one in the back. But the main position of fighting is over this house. So it's going to be a pretty cool fight over the house. Let's check out Lotus's build. He's got the 1806. We're going to fast forward because it's going to be a long deployment time. He's got the 1806 Prussians. They're pretty neat. They're kind of the old school Prussians. They are ready to duke it out against their arch nemesis, the French. They have some cool old school looking guys in their hats. I think it's pretty cool in this mod where the like Piedmont, Saxony, or any of the factions that are not French that have, well, the French too, the earlier French ones. They have the, all right, ready to play. They have, you could tell they have the wigs on some of them, which is pretty cool. Like right there, they have like a, hold on, let's see what happens. Look, they have like the wigs. That's so cool because I guess they were still kind of the wig time period. But he's got a bunch of Fusiliers, line. Is it Ludwig von Beethoven? Ah, Ludwig von Broadswitch. And he's got some Hussar and Cuirassiers. For Peninsular, we've got some Dragoons. This is Honorable Mimba. No, this is Kiki. My bad. Honorable Mimba is on the other team. Don't know who Colonial Parking is, but that's not existent. That's something random. So we got the Light Dragoons here, and then we've got some awesome British line infantry. Pretty good setup. He's got a bunch of line, tons of line. For myself, I am playing with the 1812 USA. So these are the British soldiers that fought in the War of 1812. I think their flag is sweet. Look at that flowing. But we've got Fencibles. They kind of have they're a pretty cool faction where they have, look at the Canadian Light Militia, they're green. They have a mix of good, like British line versus militia units from they have a lot of Canadian units, which is kind of cool. Like these are New Brunswick Fencibles. That's pretty neat. And then we've got some Dundays. What the heck? Dundas? They got killed. No. But they got the cool kind of look. And then I've got line infantry, and they got the cool white hats. And also for this build, I have Sorry, there's a flipping fly in the house. I have 18 pounders that can be guerrilla deployed. Yeah, humongous they are. So they got a pretty good view over here. But already Friday's artillery piece is opening up, but it was spotted. So it will not last the battle very long. He's trying to limber it up, but what that's going to do is immediately when they make contact, everything's just going to die. And they just fall over. Dang. Lasted a pretty good bit. We've got some more Kazaki charging in, trying to get rid of this artillery, but they kind of get away. So these Kazaki are all C9. So like the Cossacks, I have a previous video where the Cossacks were an opponent of us. So we are now have the Cossacks on our side. The only thing is he was a super noob, like super noob. Is they have these horse archers back here, and he threw them back here, and he didn't even vanguard them like a flippin' noob. He's got both of them back here. Get good, son. And saw that the French cav was pushing up, and I did not have anything to protect my artillery. So I actually ended up rushing a lot of my cav up to the front to try and secure it, make sure that they didn't try anything. You see, they're trying to cross the river. And my artillery is trying to take some pot shots at some cav that my Iroquois warriors are taking a look at. And for our opponents, we have a 10 France. That is the 1796 to 1800 Italy. I think, see, oh yeah, they disappeared. But see, I think these guys, see, they kind of have the wigs too. They're pretty dope. And we're facing a Westphalen led by Jerome Bonaparte, one of Napoleon's younger brothers, I believe. We have Napoleon Bonaparte leading the 1805 to 1808, and I believe our fourth opponent is Württemberg. Yep, Württemberg. So we are facing kind of some Frenchies along with some German states. And as we can see here, Friday has not fully engaged. He's not harassing too much, but his presence is known. I think he wanted to play a psychological game with with our opponents at the moment. He's got a couple units way out here, which is a pretty good spot because for this map, for the most part, the fighting is going to be right here. And you don't really try to stretch it out here. I mean, you can come through the woods here and try to fight, and you could fight right here. But for the most part, you're going to take this road, or you're going to take this road all the way down, or you're going to take this road around, and you may fight here. But for the most part, you're fighting in the center. So there's, other than excuse me, actively trying to look for the Cossacks, you're not really going to do you're not going to really send out units. Looks like Friday has some Cossacks get caught out by some chaussées à cheval as they run through the woods. Woo-hoo! Well, there goes a guy. But he's got some more running around. These are the larger 82-man units, I think. Both of them, not just one. But he does have most of his cav sitting back here. So he's actually doing a pretty good job keeping most of his cav in the back out of the fight. And here comes France, Italy. I do not know which one this was, but we are setting up quite close. He's going to try and make a move on the house. I think he actually, I think he does. He has Old Guard or Consuls of the Guard. So I believe at this point in time, yeah, I think those are them. Yeah, Grenadiers are the Consul because Napoleon was still Consul. He's not Emperor yet. So in this faction, the Imperial Guard is not the Imperial Guard. They're actually the Guard of the Consul. And that's what he's got right here. Doop, 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 doop. They look pretty awesome. So that's kind of what he's got. And that'll be probably the main thing that's going to duke it out with the Iroquois for the house. But as you can see, Prussia does have his cav. Lotus has a pretty good fix. Friday's got some cav sitting on the flanks, and my Iroquois are taking some shots. And I don't really, we got two there, none there, none there. So they're taking some shots. Not the most accurate, but I guess they kind of hurt. My main goal was to use them for melee and make the French get them out of the house. Basically, that's my goal, is to get them out. My 18 pounders, my marine artillery. Stop. Are now trying to aim at the infantry, trying to aim at the crossing. I don't know. I've never used this. It may be too much money. I should have just brought a normal artillery piece, but I thought it was pretty dope to bring for this map and this game. Never really brought anything over 12 pounds, so it's pretty cool. As I say, as you can see, the French are moving in, and my 12-pounders are shooting, and I have no idea where those shells are going. But I believe I have been shooting at this one, and I have knocked off 7 of those guys. So we're rocking. Ooh, our general just got hit, possibly. But the Iroquois are fighting, and we have some French line infantry. I like the way the earlier French versions look. They're almost revolutionary bicoin hats, I think. Something like that. Friday is doing a determined motion to cross here and see what Württemberg is doing. Oh gosh, it's sleepy in the afternoon. Dadgummit. I do rush up some cav. Do see that the French have some infantry or some cav here, so we're going to go in and do a charge of them because they are being slowed by the water, and they do not get away, so they are easily cut down. Which I don't know. They could still probably win that. French cav is pretty ridiculous, and the 1812 cav is not the greatest. But pressure right here as the French are trying to get across the river and trying to form up lines. None of these French guys can form square. So the Lotus with his cuirassiers and hussars makes a daring charge. And as here, as you can see, French infantry were trying to get into the houses. They were trying to get in the house. He charged them and they couldn't form square. So this is a devastating blow for Italy. France Italy right here. Some dragoons are being thrown in against the cuirassiers, but they do rush out. But that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Italian units already, and they're actually getting hit by some artillery from my 18-pounder. So that's already a significant portion, and at the loss of 2 hussars, it's not too bad. And that one's cut below half. That one's not a half, so it'll come back. That one's not. I will come back. And some French cav is also going to go in. My general, I brought him up to try and help the Iroquois, make sure that they stay in the fight, but he is a little close as French dragoons are in the fight. Sending some guys around. I'm trying to recharge these guys to rout them, but as you can see, he does have some squareable infantry that are pushing in. So I do force off that. Unit, but I do have more infantry in the area that are squareable. I do a side charge with my guys onto the dragoons, but I think they were already being broke by the Prussians, and I do get out my Quebec light dragoons. And the Iroquois are still fighting, and they held off. Like this is causing a lot of delay. It's allowing a lot of our forces to push up. My line infantry is almost here. British line is not exactly the fastest, but I do have some elite fast boys in there. But then my militia is not very fast at all. Friday is moving up his cav. He is tightening the noose, trying to get some scouting done, possibly. Try and see if he can't pick off any artillery or generals. But as you can see, the French are moving another unit in, and they are... Actually, it was cavalry. They got caught up, and they are actually taking a beating from these Iroquois. I'm sorry, I'm yawning so much. Guess I just raising my soft palate. Look it up, it's a real thing. Makes you yawn. If you're a singer, you would know. He's got, see, here are his horse archers, which is actually kind of insane that they have a 100 range. But it's kind of cool, honestly. It takes forever for them, apparently. Look at them shoot their little bows. Pew pew, pew pew, pew pew pew, pew 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 pew. Look at them dropping. My gosh. I'm actually putting a whooping on them. But I do have my artillery over watching them. Let's look at these 19th dragoons. This is probably one of the cooler units for the 1812. As you can hear, my guns blaze away. I don't really know how much. I mean, they did get a chevron by the end of the game, but they weren't game changers that I was hoping them to be. Man, need to freaking get a energy drink or something. And my Iroquois are finally taken out. A combat general, Jean Mathieu. C'est Ria Lavage d'Altelé. I don't really know. I don't speak French, even though French is a beautiful language. The French cav of 1805-1808 has finally arrived, along with some Westphalian cav. So they are actually pushing up. And as you can see, as they just disappeared, that was the Grenadiers à Cheval. Well, they're not Cheval yet, I guess. Les Deux, I think is what they are called at the moment for 1808. Ooh! An artillery piece has been taken out. I wonder if that was, how that happened. That'd be neat to know. If artillery actually was missing everybody and hit them, that means that they actually did achieve something. Friday's getting his little cav, his little archers a little caught in a little close. But that's okay. They're pretty fast. Fast as fuck, boy. And they're going to get away, and we got some dragoons. I don't really know. But pressure is moving up. So this is kind of a slow fight. We kind of have some ebb and pull right now for a lot of this action. Friday is not actively attacking them with his cav, which could be a lull to lull them into like, oh look, they're not there, so we're good. But we'll fast forward till we can get some more action. Prussia does have, I think, Jaegers, I believe, that are up here. Or possibly like Voltigeurs or something like that. But like dude in his trench coat looks dope. But up here, we do have Friday and his cav. They are actively searching against the Württemberg, and they have finally found some infantry. But right here, Friday does seize on the moment to try and scout out, but he does have some Savalages coming out, and he now has a lot of his forces coming out. 82 man and a 40 man Kanzaki, because he has found Westphalen's lines. Dude, this fly is about to annoy me. But he is going in. He's going to go for a good charge. He's going through the woods, though. Are these just... Yep, these are Cossacks. He is trying to get a flank on. Here we are. Here we are. And he does get a side charge with his other Cossacks. Jeez. Go away, dude. Do have a... And his Cossacks do win that fight. And wow, those Cossacks actually took a beating. 59 of 82 gone. But over here, I don't think he was concentrating as he was trying to micro this. And he did have a cav fight over here on this side where his dragoon, he did take out some dragoons. But he did lose to Kazaki. And he has these Tartars, which are basically saber cav, I guess. Tartars. Free to go. He did knock off some dragoons, they're not coming back, and some Chevaliers. So he actually was a success, and then we have this one unit of cav here. So he did have success with that round. As you see, French Italy actually has moved his infantry behind this house, so my artillery can't hit him, and the Prussian artillery sort of, kind of a hard job, but they could. I actually decide to push my army up into the woods. I'm sorry, really hasn't been a lot of contact with infantry-wise. But, you know, we're still kind of getting there. And Kiki has his line kind of situated back here behind my cav. But the French 1805 cav is actually circumnavigating a lot over here. Sorry, again. Gosh. But those 1805, 1808 Hussars to take a few 6-counter balls to the face. Yes, they took balls to the face. As you can see here, Friday is doing a good job with these random Tartars that he got in behind the line. And he did find 1805, 1808. I think these are 12-pounders or 8-pounders. Like 8-pounders. He did get them. And most of the French cav and Westphalen and Württemberg cav, they're all up here. And then Westphalen has his cav trying to counter these Cossacks here. So he really is pulling the old Cossack trick of hitting everything and then causing everybody to go somewhere, and then he hits them somewhere else. So he's got a good tactic going on. And right here we do have some 12-pounders of Westfalen. This is just, there's 2 of them? Where's the other one at? Is it somewhere else? I have no idea. That's interesting. I think you're going to see 1. But he is roaming. We have some, well, these are 8-pounders. Well, nope, that's the, wait, oh, he does have, there's the cavalry that's going away. And then here are 8-pounders. What happened to these guys? They are tired. So everything looks like it's slowed down. I don't really know what he's doing here because he's just going for the kill. I think he's microing elsewhere. But he did lose all his Cossacks over this position, and his Tartars just kind of sprang straight through the map, and they got back here. So they're actually cutting down. Both his Cossacks actually do take out that Westfalen, and there's the other Westfalen cannon. So they were quite separated. One of them may have got stuck or took a road for the other one. Jeez. Oh, I apologize. I need to get more sleep, I guess. He did break that. So he's actually cut down a lot of the artillery for the Imperial forces. Really done a number on them. As my army still is slowly. So we're all still pretty slowly getting to the position. We're not. This is a pretty slow developing fight. But as you can see here, Westfalen is pretty much on this road. Württemberg is taking this path. And I did see, I don't know if y'all saw it too, that there's some 1805. They were right in this area last time I saw them. But Westfalen is sending some cav to try and screen for their rear of the, I guess, 1805, 1808 France. He's got some Hussars and some Chevaliers. I like that unit. I like those units. They're like a medium cav that's lighter than a medium cav. I don't really know how you would describe it in a militaristic term, except calling them Chevaliers. As you can see, the map is developing like so. We got a 2-pointer. We're kind of forming a little line, concrete, around this area. His Cossacks have done a pretty good job screening out this area and screening out these woods. We don't know what's over here. I do know that, as you can see, there has been French cav in this area, which is right there. And I was already suspecting possibility of a circumnavigation of some French cav. But Westfalen is starting to approach. Artillery is still firing, but I believe he is walking through my lines right now, so these guys are not going to shoot, or it might hurt him pretty bad. My line is almost approaching. Got all militia in front with a corps of, I think, 2 elite units, and then the rest are some pretty good line infantry. So we've got a pretty good little, our battle line is pretty secure. We've pretty much got them, this is our battle line. Got a pretty good one going. Friday is still probing with his cav. As you can see, Westfalen has chosen to be the rear guard with their cav. We'll slow it down so we can look at some units. You got some Cuirassiers back here. They look awesome. Awesome. And then we've got some Garde du Corps. Don't really know much about them. The Garde du Corps are pretty much Imperial kind of guard guys, and we do have some Chevaliers and some Hussars, and it looks like they are going into a retreat mode. Württemberg is showing up. I've actually never played with Württemberg, but they kind of have the same look as Bavaria with their caps or helmets or hats or however you want to say it. Oh, they disappeared. Westfalen has kind of joined in. They have some pretty cool white uniforms. They look really good. I don't think I've actually shown them in on this game yet. Got some Jaegers. These guys look awesome. And we've got some French. Oh no, is that French? Yeah, that's France and Westfalen are kind of intermixed here. But they have some cool line infantry for Westfalen. I think they're a 6-pointer or a 7-pointer. So my line has fully been approached. There hasn't been too much chat. I know Friday and I are in voice chat, but we're not in voice chat with the other two players. But I think they're both pretty good players, and so they were kind of telling us what they were doing and what was going on. But I have approached, and we do have a pretty good flank. What the Imperial forces have done is they've pretty much pinpointed their all their armies right here. So you've got Italy, you've got 1805, and you've got Westphalen and Württemberg all in this one area. Ooh, got some cav going out. Is that Peninsular? Yeah, he got some 6-pounders there, but he did get routed. But he may have got one artillery piece. He did rout them, so that's good. He got one artillery piece. So those guys will be off the guns for a little while. My forces are getting fixed up into battle order. The Cuirassiers are trying to catch these. Alright, I'm going to make a go at it. Kochevi Hotniki. Kochevi Ohotniki. Friday does have his cav. I think I'm trying to get my cav out of the woods because I think we were trying to maybe lure these guys into a fight. They have lost some guys though. Here are some Westphalen Guard Jaeger. They look awesome. Look at that bugler. Get it, get it, get it, get it. We got a bunch of yelling. Where's that yelling from? Oh, so Friday is going after some Westphalen cav, and looks like those guys just dropped dead. Did they get an artillery ball? Cannonball? And he does have some good flank over here as well. But he took care of those, and that's the thing. The Cossacks, they're so good. They're C9. If you're really good, if you're competent with just cav in general, your cav shouldn't be caught. That was probably going to happen because they got caught up, but he didn't lose both of them, which is a huge thing. I do have my cav point out. It would have been really nice to try and catch these guys. But every time he goes in for a charge, he sees us and he backs out. But the thing is, though, Kochevi Begadim, we've got some Dragoons here, though, as well. But I do take some shots and see the Dragoons, so it is not time to fight. It is not time to fight. But as you can see, the noose is tightening around them. As more cav begins to pull out, and my artillery is actually hitting in this area right here. As you can see, there's some breakage in the line. But the noose is tightening. The Cossacks. I mean, we've got them in a pretty good little horseshoe right now. The cav of Friday is kind of the, I guess, I don't know. I mean, if you want to look at it from this way, from our vantage point, it is forming up our right hoof, and Prussians are forming up the left hoof, if you want to look at it that way, maybe. I don't know which way you want to orient yourself. But my infantry will hopefully take up the right hoof at some point. His cav is just a placeholder right now. But I do have my Canadian light dragoons are going to hold the line. They look good too. Man, look at that officer. And these guys are still just shelling. I have no idea if they are proving to be worth the 1,000 coins that they are worth, or whatever they were. Westphalen looks like he is forming up to protect against on their left flank, as you can see. And his Guard Jaeger with that 115 range are taking some pot shots at the Kotchev Sheot Honiki. And actually, they are actually hitting them. Huh. Oh, snap! Did you see that? Excuse me. He just got thrown off the damn horse. But a large cav presence is forming up against Friday to perform the rear guard. And Württemberg has pushed out, and it looks like he is actually going to go face the Prussian. But as cool and neat as that sounds, look at this. The Brits in awesome style. Brits and Canadians in awesome style. Look at them coming out of the woods. Oh. And I lost some guys. I think I charged those Jaegers. Not important. It was a missed click. Look at that. Coming out. And at this point, they are still hidden, so they actually do not know where my forces lie. Man, that's a pretty cool image. So my main opponent will be Westphalen as I approach the left flank of the enemy. And we'll get back to the map. As you can see, Württemberg is duking it out with Prussia at the moment. Here, Württemberg's right flank of 4 units is being matched up against 3 units right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units right here. So they're getting pretty much outmatched. That's 8 unit versus 4, and in order to get help, he's going to have to move more troops up instead of trying to consolidate a little bit. But they are taking a beating. These are actually some good. These are Guard Jaeger Koenig. I guess the Regiment Koenig is what they are. They look good though. But they are duking it out with some Fusiliers. This is a pretty good unit. And some Grenadiers Donna. Oh man, they look dope. Prussian 1806 actually looks pretty awesome. And some Fusiliers Kaiserlich. And some Musketeers. So right now, looks like Württemberg is losing this fight. I would say possibly. This unit has taken a beating, and it's really the key there. My forces are still slowly approaching. I think my artillery at this point, I would love to have had accurate shots down this line. That would have been awesome. I mean, they're perpendicular. You always want to try and get your artillery perpendicular shooting into them, not parallel. You want to get them perpendicular and shooting down the line. So I mean, if you get them this way, it's fine. But oh, there's my shots right there coming in, but no sauce. My troops are slowly pushing in. As you can see, we'll check out the map again. Cossacks are forming up over here. As you can see here, though, we have a big fight. Kiki went in with his Bland's Dragoon Guards. Gonna go for the artillery here. These are 3 12-pounders. You missed those, Friday. You didn't get those. Wait, where are they going? They didn't even break them. No words. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna keep quiet. First Cuirassiers Regiment right here with their straight swords. As the British Dragoons do go into Württemberg. Interesting. I'm not gonna say that possibly what that was, but that kind of looked a little iffy. The Grenadiers à Cheval right here. Oh man, or the Grenadiers à Cheval. They're so cool. Another unit of mine are running again. Man, got some puds. Where are my guys? Oh, but Friday is going on a big cav charge onto Westphalen's cav. If this, pretty much will break Westphalen if this does all work and go in his favor. Where are there's the Cuirassiers there? So they did get rear charged, and they will not win this fight. We got a rear charge going into these Chevaliers by the Kazaki. So most, if not all, of the Westphalen cav has been broken, and these guys are routed, so they will be finished off. France 1805, 1808 is pretty much the only one that has cav still left, except for this one unit of Dragoons from Italy. Looks like 1796 Italy is sending some forces, and it looks like the Württembergers are in full retreat. That cav charge in the rear kind of messed them up a lot, and they are losing a lot of guys. It's not looking really well at the moment. They are in a little of a pinch. My lines are beginning to form up, though. Militia, militia, go. So the line battle on my flank has begun as Prussia is letting Württemberg fall back, which is okay. Friday does have a side charge. Most, if not all, these units, these 2 units can form square, but these 2 units cannot form square. But the Dragoons of Italy are coming in. This unit does form square, and they look good too. Ooh. So E is trying to break these 2 units. I do rush up these 2 units to try and get into the face of the square and to shoot the square, because the square is not very good against line infantry. Or not line infantry, but they can't stand up in a fight because you're forming a square, very limited your numbers, but the left flank of the Westphalian units are being broken. Were broken. And Friday does charge into a lot of the 1805, 1808 French units as well, and actually breaks 2. But it looks like the Italian Dragoons did charge or countercharge, and is probably going to defeat him. But he is routing off several units of the French. Due to his charge here, we are able to bend back the Westphalian line as we are duking it out. Now, these guys are not meant to fight. Well, these guys ain't really lost anybody. Well, are not meant to really win the fight, but they are meant to cause enough damage. So Friday, most of his Cossacks were broken in that engagement, but he did hurt the French a lot. He hurt them a lot. This line fight looks really good right here. Prussia is moving up on Württemberg. The Prussians are trying to bring back Württemberg into the empire, or into the fold. They must ally with their fatherland. As you can see, got some Guard Jaeger here. It's Westphalian. Dude, what are these dudes doing? Are they okay? Oof. As you see, Kiki is pushing up his line. He's got several units on my left flank as well. The Cossack force is still very noticeable. And as you can see, as earlier as I said, I fear that possibly a French unit did get around. And as you can see, spotted by these guys fleeing, there is 1 unit of Hussars of 1805. Most likely wanted to go for some artillery. As you can see here, though, the Westphalian line, though, is starting to buckle. Man, that unit actually, Jaeger, Carabiner Jaeger, took a beating, 31-70. Some militia, you know, holding up. They're holding up. Most of my units in the back. Oh, that one's lost a few. But France is starting to come on my flank here. So I want to try and send some units around to try and mess them up or hold them off. But Westphalian is breaking in the center, which allows me to push up my middle. What is that? We have a charge by some Cuirassiers into a lot of the... Well, those guys can form last square, but they did not in time, I bet. Neither did that one. But most of these Westphalian units actually can form square. He must have taken some really good units. So forming these squares did cause the Cuirassiers to retreat, but these guys are charging after them. And we've got some Grenadiers that went into the melee here to take advantage of that square. It looks like they did break them. So Prussia's full weight is coming onto Württemberg at the moment, and this unit is in a square. It is in a closed square, but it is in a square. And it's possible to take a full volley? Maybe. 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 We get a volley? There it is. Let's see. Where's there's the Grenadiers of Chevelle, some Cuirassiers over there. Westphalian is still in trouble. It looks like some Calabrian Free Corps did go into the charge. That's some of Peninsular's guys. France 1805, 1808 is retreating in the face of the 1812 USA Britain, along with CAF. But it looks like the Grenadiers of Chevelle are approaching on our right flank. So Friday and I are going to have to do a job of trying to get rid of that. Even though we have 4 units here, the Grenadiers of Chevelle compete all 4 of our units. So, we got to do a pretty good job of trying to fight that CAF fight. These guys are kind of been beaten down, so I don't know why I did that. I thought I was going to push these guys up. These guys going to go up? No, we don't want to. No, maybe. Württemberg is being pushed in. Kiki is pushing up into the center, trying to face some of the French-Italian forces that are still there. Friday and I have 3 cav. He has 1. This is actually, I think, his dragoons, so this is actually a pretty decent unit, probably in melee. And I have my British light dragoons. So it is time to try. Friday's flanking around. He's got some more Cossacks or Tartars on the way. The French player is not paying attention, so they do get a charge off and cut down a few. But in a melee, they are still going to get dominated. Get another charge off with those guys. We do bring them down in morale from that rear charge, but obviously they're able to hold a little bit. Did bring my general over here. I get another charge. Friday does do a charge here. So we have the Grenadiers of Chauvel completely surrounded. Do have my general Edward Peckenheim is trying to keep the boys in the fight, in which we do, and we do break the Grenadiers of Chauvel. Almost did break that unit. 13 of 34. They almost did break them. But Westphalen is pretty much in tatters. He only has 3 units left, and most of my force is pushing forward. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit here. See, they didn't end up. Just the fear of the Grenadiers of Chauvel still made those guys retreat. So we're gonna fast forward here a little bit because this is kind of the death throes of our enemies. But in the end, it was a fun game to be a part of. It's fun to watch Friday with his Cossacks. I hadn't seen him play before. The Cows, I've played with them a few times. They're pretty fun. This is a pretty decent showcase of the 1812 United Kingdom. They have some little different looks than the normal British units, but they're still a pretty good unit or army. Got some Dundas embodied militia that's still on the front line, but the French are trying to hold us off. The Prussians are attacking from the other side, and so is Kiki with his own British soldiers, and he got his forces here that he can push up. So we do have them fully surrounded. Cuirassiers do go in here from Prussia, but a square is formed. I do push up my line to get real nice and close, and hopefully can do some shooting. Now, here's something. I was trying to get this on camera. I still got an officer. Yeah, I still got an officer. Let's see. And I don't have these guys on fire at will because I had them behind my guys and they were fire on will. So that's a big boo-boo on me. So these guys, I was wondering why these guys were lasting so long in the face of all these guys, and it's because these guys weren't shooting. So that's cool. All right there. Oh, look at the pistol. Officer pulls out a pistol to shoot. That's so cool. I think I finally noticed this. Yeah, because all these guys are slightly losing because they're not even shooting back. I'm glad the Prussians are shooting though. Square is formed, but can they hold even through the charge? Are these guys finally shooting? I don't know. That's kind of disappointing, but these guys are shooting. There we go. Finally figured it out. What an idiot. What an idiot. Yeah, make sure if you turn your guys fire at will off, you know what your guys shoot their own guys in the back. Make sure you turn it back on. So my left line is going to kind of form up. See, look, man, if I had known that, those guys would have been okay the whole time. But I was an idiot, so yeah, don't be an idiot like me. So they, they're winning. I think the officer died over here. Yeah, officer died. No, he's right there. Boop, boop. Still tending stall. Are you gonna shoot your pistol for me, dude? You gonna shoot your pistol? Anybody gonna shoot your pistol? But we are in the last stages. The Imperial faction allowed us to suck them into this one house, which may have been their ultimate downfall. Because, as you can see, their whole army was pretty much centered around. I mean, Württemberg did cross over, but they were quickly forced out by the Prussians. But the Westphalians, nobody formed up a flank here. Nobody tried to probe into the woods or anything, but they may have feared that the Rod may have had a full army there, um, which is quite possible. It's possible. Um, but they allowed themselves to be sucked up. I mean, I'm not a strategist or anything. That's just what I saw, and it allowed us to have a pretty good flank on here. And honestly, Prussia and I probably could have pushed into them pretty well. The British player Kiki really had a good army that basically was a threat. They couldn't do anything against his army. Losing another unit there because they probably weren't shooting for like 5 minutes. But they allowed to be sucked in. The French player is throwing everything into the building as Kiki has the midden boys of 20th East Devonshire Foot are trying to keep the house. And so the last of our enemies are being vanquished. But it was a fun game. Kind of had a spree of some really bad games, but it was good to have a good game every now and then. For the kills, Lotus coming in with 1100, myself coming in at 970. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Those are losses. Let's roll it back. Lotus coming in with the big 1400. I myself came in with 1300. Kiki came in at 556. Mr. Daddy came in at 992, and he lost 666. Oh my gosh. Louis de Calancourt with he believe that's Italy, so he had Italy come in with the 711 kills. Württemberg with 641. Honorable Mimba with 843. USMC Kids 4 with 672. For myself, my Light Dragoons did pretty okay. Nothing really too just fashionable. My Iroquois Warriors, I didn't know they ended up doing that really well. Wow. Marine Artillery, 65. It's not traumatic, but, it's whatever. So nothing really, none of my units were really just glorious. A lot of my kills came from Iroquois. I did not know that they did that well. I knew they had a chevron, but I didn't know they ended up actually getting over the 100 mark. So you don't mess with boys and tomahawks and houses. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for yawning 1,500 times. I kind of just jumped on and put a replay up and just kind of rolled with what I saw come up first. I hope you've enjoyed. If anybody has any ideas for what other stuff, I mean, I enjoy talking about history in some of these. I know in some of my other ones I've kind of spoken about some history stuff, but if you've got some that something you want me to do or change or anything like that, I'm always for some creative criticism. Not really creative, but you know what I'm saying. All right, hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching.